Wait, is he
All right,
ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
The arguments are quite simple.
Okay.
Something. All right, cool. So Uzuki, like, just perception blitzes the fuck out of Sakamoto, who's like able to escape the situation with Takamura. From the data books, Takamura is a fighter that fights, you know, indiscriminately. So it seems like he would have had reason to target Sakamoto or did target Sakamoto, but Sakamoto was able to escape, which entails that Sakamoto has some reactive ability to Takamura. Uzuki perception blitzes that Sakamoto, so Sakamoto should be relative to Takamura somewhat in speed, and then Uzuki's above Takamura.
All right.
Boo!
Well, the first thing, I just need to see like whatever you're talking about when Sakamoto reacts. Second thing, you already know I haven't seen the data book, so I'd also have to see the indiscrimination thing. Um, as for the third thing, like if it's the case, Uzuki perception blitz or whatever, I'll just address it once I see the scans.
Okay. Wait, repeat the first question you asked, because I want to see if you tracked properly or not. The first
Yeah.
question.
So
First
the
question.
very first question that I asked you, dude, I was like, "Hey, I haven't seen the scans, so can you go get when fucking what's his face? Sakamoto gets like perception blitz by Uzuki and then is able to
That
dodge
wasn't the
Takamura."
first thing you asked, my friend. That's the
Yeah.
third thing you asked. Now, what's the
No,
first thing you asked?
I asked for two things.
No, you asked for three things. What the fuck?
Hey, when I say two things, two subsections of
When
things,
you say
whatever the
two
fuck.
things, you mean three things? You fucking retard. What the fuck are you
Yo,
talking about?
bro. It's one thing, two subsections. Come on.
Okay, so in the order you listed it out in initially, go ahead and describe the things you were talking about.
Yeah, bro. The first thing that I want from you, dude, I'm just asking, can you go get the scan where Sakamoto dodges Takamura? Whatever the fuck.
Okay, this is tracking error number 3, right? So
Yeah, bro.
the issue, yeah, okay, this is tracking error number 3 because I proposed a dysfunct, right? It was either Sakamoto escapes the scenario by not reacting or by reacting, but both of them would be conducive to my argument, right? So I didn't directly make the claim that he reacted to Takamura. The point was that he escaped the situation either by reacting to Takamura or not reacting, and even if he didn't react, that still is conducive to my point because he's able to lead the situation before Takamura is able to attack, which is something that someone of Uzuki's speed should be able to like nullify because Uzuki would be able
Brother,
to
can
attack
you get the
Takamura.
scan?
Well, hold on. Uzuki would be able to attack Sakamoto before Sakamoto was able to escape. But obviously, if Takamura didn't attack Sakamoto, it means Takamura was unable to be attacked by Takamura before Sakamoto could escape. So, go on.
But brother, can you just get the scans or of you talking about this escape? Like,
You want me
I don't
to
know
prove
exactly.
Sakamoto escaped? Did you read the manga? This guy said he's gonna
Oh
read the
yeah, man.
manga. You lying to me?
I read the manga. I just don't remember what you're referring to in specific.
You don't remember Okay, so you stopped at chapter 56, and you're telling me
Yeah.
you didn't read chapter 55. Okay, wonderful. Let me get the sounds for you, bro.
I'm telling you, I don't remember every single panel. I don't think you do
You
either.
don't
But
remember the events of chapter 55. In fact, whilst I'm getting
no,
the
I can
scan,
remember the
do you want to
events,
list
but
out?
not remember every single
Hold
detail
on.
about the events.
Okay. Do you want to list out like the events that happened to Sakamoto whilst I get the scan, by the way?
Brother, it's not gonna be progressive. It's not gonna be
It's not.
anything
It's not
conducive to the
directly
debate.
progressing the debate. I'm just grabbing the scan. So like, there's we can have awkward silence if you want. I guess. Fuck.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro. Oh, oh, oh. So you want this kind of
And then
Sakamoto leaving?
yeah, I needed that. And then I need the him fighting indiscriminately thing. Uh, did he just fake? Yo, he just faked this.
What?
Yo, I screenshot my DMs. Wallah, I didn't say shit to him. He just faked that. What the fuck? Peep my screen share. Dude's talking about stay on topic.
Um. mm, mm, mm.
And he has me blocked, so I wouldn't even be able to message him. Dude is a freak.
Wait, hold on. Do you or do you not think that Sakamoto escaped the situation? Oh, there's the fucking scan. Wonderful. I didn't even need to get the other one. Okay, I thought I was cooked for a second. Ah. Okay. Check chat, bitch.
Hey man, watch your
As we
mouth.
can
That
see,
was Adham.
as
That'll
we
be
can
Adham number one.
as we can see, Takamura seemingly does this like indiscriminate kind of attack, which Sakamoto is able to react to. Sakamoto gets perception blitz by Uzuki. I can grab this gun for you if you want regarding that one.
Dude, it's a scan chat, Yanni. It's a scan chat.
The perception blitz one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the first. That's the first perception blitz as well. Like there's multiple perception blitzes. It's insane. It's
Mm,
insane.
very very interesting, man. All
Moaning
right,
is not an
so
argument. I want to counter argument, please.
yeah. So with this, you said it's either the case that he did dodge or did dodge, right? Like in
What?
reaction,
Wait, repeat that. Repeat that. I want everyone to hear what you said.
either the case he like did dodge, as in he reacted to the attack, or he didn't react to the attack.
No, the argument is he either escaped by dodging or not dodging, but I realized he did dodge anyway, so it's fine. I don't really care to go down that path. So you just talk about whether or not he dodged, I guess. If you wanna.
Whether or not he dodged, well, first I guess we just have to talk about the indiscrimination thing, like from the data book.
I don't think it matters. I think I can get onto that later. But the whole point is that Takamura does this like sword slash, and then Sakamoto is able to see the sword slash and then move backwards. That's literally what happens on the panel.
Yeah, but brother, the reason it would matter is just because I'm saying, these people were both in the order. Maybe as we see, there's just going to be some kind of connection between order members, like as in people wanting to, either help Sakamoto, like
Number
Nagumo,
one, I have no reason
Shishiba.
to believe that Takamura recognizes Sakamoto.
Yeah, I have no reason to believe as such. I mean, the reason I guess I would propose that, would build some likelihood here is just the case that with other order members in which we've
You're not
seen,
tracking. What was my
like,
question?
yeah, you said you have no reason to believe Takamura is going to have some relation. I'm saying that
Wrong.
via the
The
fact,
question was, I don't have any reason to believe that, or you can't. Can you give me any reason to believe that Takamura recognizes Sakamoto? That was the question. I don't know why you have this tracking issue.
oh, when you say he recognizes, my bad, my bad. Um, I mean, don't most people like already recognize Sakamoto pretty easily?
Most
Like
people,
when
I'm unsure because if you haven't seen Sakamoto, by the way, can we use like things from the data book, like statements about things that already happened, or statements that aren't in the manga, or about specific events in the manga? We can use that, right? All right, whatever. I'm using that. So the
wait, did I
timeline,
grant that, boy? Is
yeah,
that
in
is
the in
that going to
chat,
be
in chat,
conducive to chapter
yesterday,
56? No, wait,
yesterday
wait,
in
wait. But
chat.
yeah, sure, whatever. But anyways, all I'm saying is that given the fact we've seen other order members be able to easily distinguish and recognize like this kind of fat Sakamoto or whatever the fuck, right?
Name one that recognizes Fat Sakamoto that
Shishiba.
also right didn't have like mission knowledge or like the idea that I got like knowledge before the event. We know Usaragi doesn't recognize Sakamoto, right?
No,
And also,
Saragi
and then
doesn't.
also, I wanted just to send. Yeah, she doesn't. She's like, is that Sakamoto? Da, da, da. I wanted to send the panels of Shishiba recognizing Sakamoto because I'm pretty sure it's linked to the fact that, like they were on a mission or something or whatever. And then again, like, I also need reason to believe that Takamura is like Shishiba in the kind of sense that, well, he's willing to do things for his former teammates, right? Because Takamura seems to be this like kind of killing guy, killing machine whose sole purpose is to complete the mission. I don't think he's this kind of character that's going about like, oh my god, let me be generous and kind to Sakamoto and save him. It doesn't really seem like he's that kind of character.
Well, the reason those two things wouldn't contradict is just because he can, not kill Sakamoto here, let Sakamoto dodge, and then go kill the other guys. So get the mission done either way.
Yeah,
But
the issue there
as
would
for
be okay. The issue there would be is that if he's attacking these guys, but he's purposefully making his attack slower, that's preventing him from completing the mission effectively. But what it seems like Takamura is, or the kind of character he is that he's a kind of character that wants to complete the mission effectively, which would obviously contradict the idea of him holding back against people that he wants to attack just because someone who is not helping the mission is there. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't correspond to any of his goals. It's meaningless. He's gibberish. He's gibberating.
Well, when you say it's gonna take down or reduce the effectiveness of him completing the mission, I don't really see like some kind of issue of him being able to do something effectively, but not as like I guess like with maximum efficiency. So like he can still get this thing done a few seconds later, granting he misses the attack or slows it down. It's not gonna
This
like
is
there's
this
not
is
gonna
shadow
be
box,
any.
by the way.
No. So oh my. So my whole reasoning here is just going to be the case that it won't be, as effective, but it's still going to be effective as in there's not going to be any major thing in which Takamura will lose by taking a fight and having it last maybe a few more seconds max.
Whoa, that's insane because we do see the thing that, like granting, like for the sake of argument, for like the next few seconds or minutes, whatever, granting your argument, right? He does lose out in virtue of him, quote unquote, slowing down his attack. They literally escape, right? Like I don't see the argument. Like, oh, he can still complete the mission effectively, man, and he can also hold back. But then obviously he doesn't complete the mission effectively after holding back. So you're arguing about him, like, this weird possibility of him completing the mission effectively, and him not being concerned with the idea of them possibly escaping. Just runs contrary to what happens in the actual story. Like, it's insane.
Didn't they? I'm just unsure of the reason which they did escape. I'm not gonna lie.
I can list it out to you if you want. Basically,
Wait,
they
yeah,
dodge, they
just
make
send it because I'm
distance.
still looking for those other panels with Shishiba.
Do I have to send that? I can just
Yeah,
narrate it.
so he recognizes Sakamoto immediately. Sakamoto drops from the sky in his fat mode or whatever the fuck, and Shishiba goes, "Wow, long time no see." The reason Osaragi doesn't remember him is because she's new
Because
to
she
the
wasn't
order.
in order, I know. Okay, I was like trolling you, but yeah, Shishiba could be more perceptive about his teammates. I'm pretty sure. In fact, wait, oh my god, I don't even know if Takamura is the kind of character that does care about his teammates because in the initial kind of instance where we see him, he cuts open the entire car with all of his teammates inside, risking their lives. It's Nagamo, I'm pretty sure, who tells him to duck. So it's like he doesn't even give them a warning or anything. If Nagamo hadn't perceived them in time, it's possible they could have all died. And this is all because he wanted to cut a fly in a car. Like, I don't think Takamura is that kind of character. And then also respond to the argument you gave earlier, being something that runs contrary to the events in the story.
All right, so with the first thing is simply going to be the case. I'm unsure if Takamura was like, I guess, consciously making the decision. Like the dude was like leaning over, leaning on his sword or whatever the fuck. I don't even know if he was when he did the slash with like with or involving the fly. I think the dude's probably gonna be or is awake here. I'm pretty sure we see like he opens his eyes for probably some of the first time or maybe the first time, whatever the fuck. So yeah. And
So,
then
wait, hold on. I want you to point me towards the panel against no, bro, when he's fighting Gaku right before the slash he does, his eyes are also closed. Like if you think the eyes are what makes him, like the eyes are the indicator for him being awake, his eyes are closed here. So under your like fucking whatever the fuck, it be him sleeping. But I'd even want to like talk about him like sleeping or like whether or not Takamura is like sleeping in that car incident. I think Takamura is consciously making these decisions and he's like it also supports my prior point of him being this kind of indiscriminate character who's sensitive to bloodlust and hostility. I think that's
well,
what he
my
operates in.
my only reason wasn't the eyes.
Okay, what was the other condition?
Hey, about the thing running contrary to the story. What were you
No,
saying
wait,
next?
wait. What was the other condition for Takamura sleeping?
Uh, Yeah, I already gave it, bro. If you didn't track, that's fine. I'll give it to you. Just what was that thing you said about something running contrary to the story, buddy?
Give me the condition, and I'll tell you.
Bro, this guy's he's holding me hostage, bro. Just tell me what it was, man. Come on, I'm
No,
not
I'm
a
not telling. I'm
schemer.
not telling you what. I'm not telling you a main argument for you to give me a condition that's very relevant. Like I'm
It
being
is
charitable to you,
relevant.
right?
It is relevant.
Bro, if you think the condition is that relevant, does it win you the debate?
Does the condition win me the debate? Yeah.
Okay, then let's conclude here.
Oh, wait. Do I? Hold on, wait. So, also, just to be clear, if you do want to conclude here, if something be the case, he never sent the scans about like so and so escaping or whatever, so he never like really won the effectiveness points because I put those scans in the question, asked him for the
That
scans. He said
doesn't
he would get
matter.
them. He never
It's
gave
relevant.
them.
It's Shadowbox. Like, oh my god.
How is it Shadowbox?
I don't
Your
care how
whole
you. I don't care to explain to you, brother. I don't give a fuck.
yeah. So your just to be clear, your whole point was this idea that like hey man, can't do it effectively. We see X person
If
escape, and I
well,
was like,
brother,
man,
if you think you won here, we can just end the debate. Yo, Sakazuki, do you want to give a verdict? If it's the case, Truth wants to end it.
I mean, I think I responded to everything.
Okay.
Wait.
Ayo, Sakazuki, good verdict, bro.
Wait. Hold on. He said he was trolling with the Osaragi thing. Said he just unsure about so and
Bro, we're
so.
done
Maybe
here, bro. You forgot the argument, and then I knew you only gave one condition, so we can end the debate here.
Oh, I didn't give one condition though.
You
Wait, do you
gave
agree?
only okay, that's fine. You gave five conditions. You know, I'll
Wait,
say
if
you
I
gave five. I don't care.
yeah,
Look,
wait. If I gave multiple conditions, you agree you lost, right?
no, I agree with the verdict Sakazuki's gonna give to me. All right, well, Sakazuki, give you a fucking verdict, bro.
Hey, bro. Hold on. Oh yeah. Never
Oh
said
shit, I
in
was
this.
muted.
Oh, you're
Wait, so y'all agreeing to conclude? You want to both
It's
give
done.
conclusions?
nah.
It's done.
The dude. Basically, I snuck something in. He snuck something in. I'm just
You
trying to,
snuck
equalize
nothing,
it.
not even a fucking sliver of a point in.
Okay,
Yeah.
look. So, do you guys want to conclude or not? Because if you're gonna conclude, just conclude for the rack.
Nah.
Um,
I,
Bro was not
and-
listening, bro. You can tell, bro was not
nah. I
listening.
don't
no,
want to
I was
conclude,
listening,
bro.
bro.
Do you have a
Oh, you
verdict in
don't
mind?
want to conclude?
Truth, if you want to give a conclusion, I'll give a conclusion.
I think he
Hey,
doesn't want to conclude. That's what
yeah,
he
man.
said.
I still want the scans for the escape. I want the
Bro, the
indiscriminatory.
scans aren't relevant. I don't think the scans help me win the debate. So like either because I think I'm done on my arguments, right? I think I gave multiple refutations to your points. The condition point isn't even really that relevant. I think I slammed you on every point. If you want to continue arguing, you have to respond to the argument I gave earlier. But since you decided to be uncharitable to me and say, I'm not repeating the condition, man,
No, I'll give
I'm
you
going
the
to be uncharitable
condition.
to
Wait.
you.
I'll give you the
But don't cut
condition.
me off. Look, now he's
Granting.
cutting me off. Wonderful, okay? I'm going to be uncharitable to you and not repeat the second main argument I gave. So that's wonderful. We can stop the debate here if you don't want to be progressive. Repeat the condition. Go.
Bro, I'll give you the condition, granting you tell me what you said, bro, and I'll tell.
I'm confident I win without telling you what I said. Just repeat the condition, bro.
You're confident you win without telling me, bro. Wait. Just agree to soccer. You'll tell me. I tell you. Could even exchange.
No, bro, look, it's not that. You try it's not even about the fucking debate. It's like you tried to hoe me by sneaking something in. And then now that you forgot the argument, you can't track for shit. You're stuck here and you know if you
Hey,
repeat it gonna
nobody.
be
I'll be honest. I don't even
I
think
know
I
the
forgot
argument.
the argument.
Hold on. You're basically begging me. You're begging me. Jan, you repeat the argument so I don't get fucking slammed on one shot. If you wanna beg me, you can beg me right now and be like, please, Jan, you repeat the argument. Go.
Bro, I'll be honest. I don't even think I mistracked. It's just apparently I did. I don't want to lose. So
Repeat the argument. Repeat the argument.
repeat your argument.
Yeah, the one that you mistracked.
The one that I quote unquote mistracked is going to be
Yeah,
the
repeat it.
idea. Yeah. So it's going to be something about, this guy's character. He wants to do these things efficiently. Like he's going to be some bloodthirsty dude or whatever the fuck. Your evidence for this was going to be this case in the car when I posited the idea that this wouldn't be a reflection of his character via the fact that he's sleeping. Um, and you were like, there's some bloodthirsty narrative. I just denied it and I said it's going to just be indexed to like some kind of, fucking, it's just going to be indexed to only missions. Yeah.
That wasn't the argument we're talking about, bro. That
Oh, that was what you said, bro.
yeah. So that's one of the arguments I gave. I gave multiple
Bro, can we
arguments.
do this, bro? Can y'all both just repeat the arguments that you're hiding instead of us being like doing this like
Yeah,
corny
Bro,
like
like
this
I,
dude's
third
being a
grade shit?
cornball, bro.
You're
no,
the one who
like
started it,
I just
Truth.
went.
What do you mean he's being a cornball?
He did it
Because
first,
he wouldn't say it,
but
bro.
the main point is like truth. I'll repeat it for you because I'm a great guy, but I know like the conditional point isn't even relevant, so it doesn't really matter too much. So the argument I gave also on top of that, well, I also responded to the him sleeping point because you gave somewhat of a condition for him sleeping, which was, oh yeah, his eyes are closed. And I pointed out the fact that, well, in the Takamura, in the Uzuki fight, his eyes were also closed. So he'd be sleeping in that instance as well. But obviously, you said that he's not sleeping in that instance because he's doing a mission, which means that the closed eyes thing aren't a sufficient condition for Takamura sleeping. And then you like fucking start spazzing out after. And the point you forgot to respond to was the fact that the mission still failed. All right. So if it was like me granting your argument, saying, well, okay, let's say I were to grant your argument, because your earlier point was, well, he could, not try for this instance and to save Sakamoto's life, and then go on to try to complete the mission because he thinks that it would have an effect on the mission. And I told you that runs contrary to the events in the story, because what we see on panel is that given that he didn't try, what ends up happening is that Uzuki and Gaku end up escaping. So it means that it was the case, him not trying did lead to their defeat. Or his
Yeah, but
defeat.
I was saying like in this instance, my whole point. I already responded to this, but I'll say it again for you. So in this instance, it's just going to be the case. He doesn't know that X whatever the fuck that caused the escape is going to happen. Because I was like, hey man, I'm pretty sure there's going to be something. I was like, you can send the panels, but I'm pretty sure there's something external to like I guess just them fighting that actually causes the escape. So I'm like, man, he wouldn't know about X
Never
thing,
said that.
right? Wait, no. I literally did. We can go back in the rec. I said send the panels. You can include here if you don't think I said it. But now I'm saying it also. So whatever. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't think, he's going to know about X thing. So I don't think it would affect what he decides to do here.
Okay, the issue there is that these are fucking pro assassins. They're not retards named Truth running around on Discord.com. They're pro assassins that understand the fact that the longer a mission drags on, the likelihood of that mission being completed is decreased due to the fact that external variables could start occurring and interfering with the mission. And that's literally what happens on panel, right? Given, like, let's say under your like fucking weird argument, let's say Takamura didn't try to kill Sakamoto, Shin, Uzuki, and Gaku. What would happen there would be, okay, well, now there's more time that's needed to complete the mission, which increases the likelihood of some external variable affecting the mission. This is how these assassins process missions. This is how, like, any fucking operative of any fucking, not even just like killers, bro. Like, even niggas that run businesses know as well. Like, if you're conducting a business operation, you want to have it, like, done as quickly as possible because the factors external to the mission, or whatever, could cause issues relating to completing the mission. So Takamura knows this. I don't understand. I need you to give an argument as to why he'd be willingly prolonging the mission, especially if we know it's the case that Takamura has no regard for people who are currently his teammates. And the reason you gave for him having some reasons to hold back was like, oh yeah, he has regard for Sakamoto. He wants to keep Sakamoto safe. But obviously, you gave no reason in favor of that.
All right. So for one, the first thing you said, I've kind of, already addressed this idea. I just said it's going to be the case if he values Sakamoto's life, where it's going up, I guess, by the second. If like the more the mission goes up, it's going to be a higher chance something external is going to affect said mission. I was just like, hey man, the actual increase by a few seconds of this chance of this percentage, I don't think it's going to be that great to the point where if he values, Sakamoto's life, then it's going to be the case. He's going to trade it for a few seconds or a few, may like percent. I don't know how much it's going to go up in a few seconds. I don't think you could quantify it to be something huge, bro. And then as for second thing about there being no motivation, as for Takamura, um, wanting to keep Sakamoto alive, given like the car incident or whatever. Yeah, I would just say like this seems to be the case. Most of the order members who do know about him, who were his teammates, they do try to help protect Sakamoto when they can, right? It's going to be the case. The only person who doesn't really fit this agenda is just going to be someone who doesn't know him. But we know, like, given the statement from Slur about just how long this dude's been in the order for, you'd probably know Sakamoto.
You make these fucking shadow box arguments, right? Like, I don't know why you just okay. So you said that, oh yeah, most people in the order like have this like willingness to protect Sakamoto. And then I tell you, well, okay, I have no reason to think um Takamura is one of those characters in the order that care about Sakamoto, because Takamura doesn't care about any of his teammates currently, and that's evident by the fact that he tried to kill the fly in the car and like almost ended up killing multiple of his own teammates currently. And the reason you gave for him like supposedly caring about Sakamoto was the fact that Sakamoto was his former teammate. But if he doesn't care about his current teammates, I have no reason to think that he cares about his former teammates.
Yeah, but the idea that he doesn't care about his current teammates is in question.
Yeah, it's evident from the car incident. You never gave a counter argument.
Yeah, the idea with I'll just tell you the other things that I listed there. Pretty sure the dude, like, I also tied in this idea. He's resting, leaning on his sword. His eyes are gonna be like closed. What else was happening there? I'm pretty sure he might have also been like snoring or yawning or some shit. I can go get the panel for you though.
You could go to the chapter if you want. And then there's also the thing you said about the few seconds as well. Wait, like I think your whole argument is just like this way less parsimonious than mine as well. You're saying that, oh yeah, Takamura's like this specific Takamura attack is like completely inconsistent with the other Takamura attacks or the other attack Takamura does, such that Sakamoto is able to dodge this attack, but Sakamoto would be perception blitzed or like perception blitzed by the other attacks, and also like just, like it's insane. You have to justify that.
Wait. When you say it's less parsimonious, it's only going to be less parsimonious, given this idea that the dude, isn't going to be caring about his teammates or whatever the fuck. All right. If I contextualize this attack, but the other attacks don't have such context, wouldn't really be like some kind of special plead or whatever the fuck.
You just need to prove that he cares. I understand you.
Yeah. And then we can get the car incident or whatever. Hold on. The future. Do you know what chapter
Oh yeah,
it is?
by the way, he's not even leaning on his sword, bro. He's wobbling, yeah. Also, I don't even know if like Takamura's like ever shown to fight whilst he's sleeping. Like,
You said what? You don't know if
I don't think
Sakamura.
I don't think Takamura's like ever shown for him to be sleeping. Like,
I don't think he's ever shown to be sleeping.
no, like how do I explain it? Like, let's just say hypothetically he is sleeping before the incident. I don't know if you could show me him sleeping whilst attacking. I don't even know like if that's something Takamura ever does, right? Like maybe there'd be a databook statement that says, "Oh yeah, Takamura also sleep fights on the side," you know. But if there isn't any databook statement that says, "Oh yeah, Takamura is also a sleep fighter," and the only time in the series where he ever sleep fights is in this one car incident, because if he is sleep fighting in this car incident, it makes Truth's argument true, right? I'd expect some statement like that, but there obviously isn't from what I've seen.
Yeah. So when you say there's going to be some statement supporting my interpretation of this thing, for one, bro, I'm still like, do you know what chapter it is? The car incident. That's you were like referencing how the
38,
dude.
38, 38.
Bet. And then you were saying like, there's going to be something that supports my interpretation given these other things. Well, for one, I've already said, well, I don't really know there does or does not exist this thing or X thing in the
I
data
don't
books.
care what you know, bro.
I
The fuck?
haven't read it.
Why
Yeah,
does it want
yeah.
my sympathy? I don't give a fuck, nigga. Like, go
Yeah,
find the
so if
statement,
you
bitch. The fuck?
wait. Yeah. So and then given the other things in which we've seen from the dude, I don't really think it would be very conclusive if we were to go off of, just those things. So this would probably be the only instance we have. All right. And then the wobbling, I think the wobbling
Wait. Hold on. You're saying this is the only instance in the series of Takamura sleep fighting, right?
in the
Probably.
series thus in the series thus far.
Okay, and you're saying the reason we have to say he's sleep fighting is because he sleeps prior to doing this attack. And then the reasons you gave for him sleeping is that he's exhibiting like these certain characteristics that we observe when someone's sleeping. This is like the most retarded argument ever, because I could make this same kind of argument for you, okay? So let's say like I catch you jerking off, right? And truth is like, actually, you know what? Let's make it. Let's say my mother catches me jerking off, right? So she just catches me in my room, just spanking my. Bro, I thought she came in. Spanking my penis, dude.
Brother.
Astaghfirullah, bro. Nah, okay, so imagine like my mother caught me like just stroking off and like spanking my penis, right? And then
Yep.
we're like Oh yeah, mother, I wasn't jerking off. I was sleep jerking off because prior to me getting up and jerking off, I was exhibiting characteristics that we'd usually observe people have when they sleep. That's like the most stupid thing ever. Because now when I'm jerking off, I'm doing some action that we observe in people that are not sleeping. So we can just say that he
Wait,
woke
no, no,
up.
no. All right, yeah. Hold on. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, this is all gonna be over. I got one scan. GG's. Check scans. It's like Z's next to his head. While he's like, he does the attack. Yeah. While he's putting his
That's the
sword away.
fucking fly. Oh my god, bro.
Come on. There's Z's
Oh,
next
you
to his head,
talking
bro.
about that?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, he could have went back to sleep.
He could have went back to sleep. I think that'd be a little weird to wait. Just to be clear.
Why is it weird to assume? Hold on. It's in fact the most non-weird thing to assume
Wait, why is
because
that gonna be
he
the
hold on,
most?
hold on, hold on. I'll explain to you why. Okay, don't ask me why. I'm explaining to you why. That's stupid. Because earlier he's exhibiting characteristics, of someone that's sleeping, and then he does something that someone that's not sleeping couldn't do, and then after that he goes back to sleep, which is evident by the fact that he continues doing these characteristics of someone that's sleeping. So
Well,
I
well,
can't.
you're
I need you to give me
presupposing.
evidence of him sleeping whilst he does the attack.
Wait, well, you're presupposing someone who's not sleeping can't do these things, and then my evidence for him in specific being able to
I'm
do these
not.
things. Wait, just listen. My evidence in specific for him, the character, being able to do these things, just going to be the case that whilst he's still sleeping, dude's putting his sword back away, still, yeah, just still put,
Bro,
and that would
look,
be
look, look.
something.
The
And that would
evidence.
be something
Okay.
people. Wait, and that would be something that people can't do while sleeping.
Okay, hold on. The issue here is that like typically, it's likely the case that when someone is whipping out a sword and they're doing this kind of maneuver, they're typically like in that non-sleeping state. They're awake typically, right? So we have that likelihood, and then there's the fact that like the evidence you gave isn't something that's unexpected by my argument, right? Because my argument is simply, oh yeah, well he was sleeping, he woke up, did the attack, and then went back to sleep. And then the scans that you sent also illustrate that. Well, you're saying that, well, okay, this is evidence for him sleeping during the attack, but then that's not thingy evidence that's unexpected for my argument, which is saying that he was sleeping, he wasn't sleeping during the attack. So you need to give evidence for him sleeping during the attack. Dude, come on.
Yeah. So just to be clear, if I have it all right, we can conclude here. But just to be clear, your whole thing is going to be, people typically don't do the slash or can't do this slash shit while they're sleeping, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. GG's. We can
All
conclude.
right, bro. Sakazuki Deva verdicts.
Both of you just give a quick conclusion. Are you concluding the whole debate? Is this like,
Yeah, we're done with the whole debate.
all right, cool. Just give a quick conclusion
I don't
each.
know why that guy said GG's because he just lost it a bit. But yeah.
All right, go ahead,
Yeah.
Truth.
All right. So his whole idea as to like why Takamura or whatever. Cause I'm gonna just conclude this point because it's like a little rabbit hole, whatever the fuck. The whole idea as to why Takamura is gonna be sleeping, uh, before and after the attack, and not during the attack, because typically people do not like sleep, while they're doing this slash or whatever. Then I go, well, typically people aren't going to be sleeping whilst they, put their sword away, whatever. That's going to be something in which people also don't typically do while they're sleeping. Given this fact, and given the fact that he agrees that the dude's sleeping, I was like, yeah, man, it's going to be the case. This thing is going to build likelihood for the idea that during the attack, he can also do something that most people can't do while sleeping. And then the dude just like goes circular.
Wait, pause. Wait. I just need clarification on something. So you're saying that his sort of usage of, okay, this thing is like what we typically observe, right? So your interpretation, the one you're giving, wouldn't make sense. You're saying that that doesn't matter because someone sleeping in the first place is like not typical in that situation, or like can you like give more clarity on that?
Yeah. So the whole you're saying I didn't say it, but we can go on rec. But the whole idea is like, he's he's not gonna be sleeping during the attack. typically people who are sleeping aren't gonna be doing X thing. I'm like, well, yeah, that's true typically, but the reason that character Takamura was gonna be some kind of exception in specific is gonna be the idea that people also can't that people also can't like fucking sheathe their sword while they're sleeping or whatever. And I was like, that's gonna be some proof he can do things, while he's sleeping. And then the dude just repeats this idea that, whilst he's sleeping, or most people can't hit their sword or whatever while they're sleeping. So
you're saying like to like unsheath the sword and do all that shit while he's sleeping or whatever is something people typically
Bro, wait,
can't
hold
do.
on. He's saying
yeah.
in
Okay.
the last scan he's saying that he's claiming that he said that the character sheathed their sword, and that's something we don't expect to see when people are not sleeping.
When they're not sleeping?
No, wait, sorry. It's saying that most people can't sheath their sword whilst they are
So
sleeping.
most
But
people don't be sheathing their sword while
yeah,
they're
I know. Like, yeah,
sleeping. Yet he's able to do it. So he's saying that okay. So he's saying
yeah.
this is why he'd be an exception. Okay, cool. Give your conclusion.
But the thing is, like, I never heard him say that. But either way, like, let's say that he had that argument, like stucking, whatever. I mean, I didn't hear it, whatever. It doesn't really matter too much because he didn't attack the point that because like for some reason, this kind of entails that I agree that most people can do that whilst they're sleeping. Because I said it isn't a characteristic that we wouldn't expect to see when people are sleeping anyway. And was referring to the content of the scan. So like, if he said that, then what's entailed is that most people can do that whilst they're sleeping. Because I did say that it's something that we would expect to see when people are sleeping. So it doesn't matter if he's okay or not. But yeah.
So you're essentially just saying that your position would have sort of demanded some evidence on his end for people typically not being able to do that.
Yeah, like unironically, yeah.
I mean,
It's not
look,
like I
I'll
didn't hear the
go.
point, but he doesn't win the debate. So
I mean, okay, so I'll just say for now, Yanni won. I'll go over Rec. If Truth did say that, and it's going to depend, Yanni, on when you said that.
I
'Cause if
said it
he did
after
say
his
that,
arguments. I said it after his
okay,
arguments.
so if he said his argument and you said, you gave what you just said, which is that you were denying any sort of non-typical thing happening while he was sleeping after he said that, then you won. If he
I
didn't
said
make that
also
argument, wait, if he didn't make that argument at all, you won. But then if he made that argument and you didn't say that, then he won.
also like what I said. I think verbatim was like, oh yeah, everything
Nobody
Takamura does
cares, bro. It's gonna check the
is
rec.
like
Nobody
something
cares,
that we'd
bro.
expect to see when people are sleeping. So
Nobody
like
cares. It's gonna check
the
the
guy
rec.
failed to
Nobody
track his
cares.
argument.